Things elude our attention, stories are yet to be discovered, truths are rarely obscured. You are introduced to the secret of
A Life of Service, Remembering Pope Francis. Pope Francis, the 266th leader of the Catholic Church, dedicated his life to serving the poor and promoting peace. Born Jorge Mario Bergoglio in Buenos Aires, Argentina, he became the first pope from the Americas. His papacy, marked by humility and compassion, resonated with millions worldwide. From his simple lifestyle to his unwavering advocacy for the marginalized, Pope Francis embodied the Church's mission of love and service. His passing marks the end of an era, leaving a void in the hearts of Catholics and non-Catholics alike. Pope Francis was known for his warm smile, his gentle touch, and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. He was a man of deep faith and conviction, and he was never afraid to speak out against injustice or inequality. He was a true shepherd to his flock, and he will be deeply missed. Easter Monday. Sorrow, the passing of a pontiff. On April 21, 2025, the Vatican announced that Pope Francis was gravely ill. The news sent shockwaves through the Catholic world. The Pope had been hospitalized earlier that day after experiencing difficulty breathing. His condition deteriorated rapidly, and despite the best efforts of his medical team, he passed away peacefully the following day, Easter Monday, April 22, 2025. The official cause of death was a cerebral stroke, following a period of coma and irreversible cardiocirculatory collapse. The world mourned the loss of a spiritual leader who had championed interfaith dialogue, environmental protection, and mercy for the poor. The news of Pope Francis's death was met with great sadness and grief around the world. He was a beloved figure who was known for his compassion, his humility, and his commitment to social justice. His death is a loss for the Catholic Church and for the world. Vatican in mourning, rituals and remembrances. Following long-established tradition, the Vatican will observe a period of mourning known as sede vacante, Latin for the seat being vacant. Cardinal Kevin Farrell, the Vatican Camerlengo, will oversee the transition period until a new pope is elected. The pope's body will lie in state in St. Peter's Basilica, allowing mourners to pay their respects. A solemn funeral mass will be held, attended by world leaders, religious dignitaries, and thousands of faithful. Pope Francis will then be laid to rest in St. Mary Major Basilica, fulfilling his own wish for a simplified burial. The 9 days following the funeral, known as Novendiali, will be marked by special prayers and commemorations. The funeral of Pope Francis was a grand and somber affair, attended by dignitaries from all over the world. The procession through the streets of Rome was followed by a solemn mass in St. Peter's Square. The Pope's body was then laid to rest in the crypt beneath the basilica. Behind closed doors, the enigma of the papal conclave. The selection of a new pope is a process shrouded in secrecy and tradition. Known as the papal conclave, it involves the gathering of all eligible cardinals, those under the age of 80, in the Sistine Chapel. The cardinals are sworn to absolute secrecy, punishable by excommunication. They will participate in a series of secret ballots held twice daily until a two-thirds majority elects the next successor to St. Peter. The world watches and waits, speculating on the potential candidates and the direction the Church may take under its new leadership. The papal conclave is a time of great anticipation and speculation. The world's media descends upon Rome, eager to report on every detail of the process, but the cardinals themselves are sworn to secrecy, and the outcome of the conclave is anyone's guess. Section 5. The search begins, seeking a shepherd for 1 billion souls. As the conclave commences, speculation swirls around potential successors to Pope Francis. Among the frontrunners are several prominent cardinals known for their theological stances and leadership qualities. Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Vatican Secretary of State, is respected for his diplomatic skills. Cardinal Luis Tagle of the Philippines is admired for his pastoral approach and focus on the poor. Cardinal Matteo Zuppi of Italy, known for his commitment to interfaith dialogue, is also considered a strong contender. The choice will depend on the cardinal's assessment of the challenges facing the Church and the qualities needed to address them. The selection of a new pope is a momentous decision, one that will shape the future of the Catholic Church. The cardinals will be looking for a man of great faith, wisdom, and courage. a man who can lead the Church into the 21st century. Section 6. Whispers of Prophecy, Ancient Words and Modern Speculation. The death of a pope often rekindles interest in ancient prophecies, particularly the prophecy of the popes attributed to Saint Malachy, a 12th century Irish bishop. This enigmatic document lists 112 short phrases, each describing a future pope, culminating in Peter the Roman. Some interpret this final entry as a prediction of the last pope before the apocalypse, presiding over the destruction of Rome. Others dismiss the prophecy as a 16th century fabrication. Nevertheless, the coincidence of Pope Francis being the 112th pope since the prophecy's origin, and the existence of cardinals named Peter, fuel speculation and anxiety among some Catholics. The prophecy of the popes is a curious and intriguing document. Whether it is a genuine prophecy or a clever forgery, it has captured the imagination of people for centuries. The fact that it is written in such a cryptic and ambiguous style only adds to its mystique. Section 7. A Papacy of Contradictions, Reform, and Resistance. Pope Francis's papacy was marked by a complex interplay of reform and resistance. He sought to modernize the Church, emphasizing mercy over judgment, and engaging in dialogue on issues like divorce and homosexuality. His efforts to address clerical sexual abuse, while praised by some, were criticized by others as insufficient. His attempts to reform Vatican finances and bureaucracy faced internal opposition. His papacy exposed deep divisions within the Church between those seeking change and those clinging to tradition. His successor will inherit this complex legacy, facing the challenge of navigating these tensions and charting a course for the future. Pope Francis was a complex and contradictory figure. He was a man of deep faith and tradition, but he was also a reformer who was not afraid to challenge the status quo. He was a champion of the poor and the marginalized, but he was also criticized for his handling of the Church's sexual abuse scandal. His legacy is one of both progress and challenges. Section 8. A Church Divided, Navigating the Fault Lines of Faith. The death of Pope Francis comes at a time of significant challenges for the Catholic Church. Declining church attendance in the West, the rise of secularism, and ongoing debates about the Church's teachings on social issues create a sense of uncertainty. The Church faces internal divisions on issues like the role of women, LGBTQ+ inclusion, and the interpretation of traditional doctrines. The next pope will need to address these challenges while providing spiritual guidance to a global flock grappling with complex moral and social issues. The conclave's decision will have profound implications for the future direction of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is at a crossroads. The challenges of the 21st century are many, and the Church must find a way to remain relevant in a rapidly changing world. The next pope will have a difficult task ahead of him, but he will also have the opportunity to shape the future of the Church for generations to come. Section 9. Legacy of a Shepherd. Pope Francis's enduring impact. Despite the challenges, Pope Francis leaves behind a legacy of compassion, humility, and a renewed focus on the poor and marginalized. His efforts to promote interfaith dialogue and environmental stewardship have resonated globally. His emphasis on mercy and forgiveness has touched the hearts of many. While his papacy did not resolve all the issues facing the Church, it offered a vision of a more inclusive and compassionate faith. His successor will inherit both the challenges and the opportunities presented by his papacy, shaping the Church's future in a world seeking meaning and hope. Pope Francis was a beacon of hope and inspiration to millions of people around the world. He will be remembered for his compassion, his humility, and his unwavering commitment to social justice. His legacy will continue to inspire and challenge us for many years to come.